Hi, my name is Genevieve. America is world renowned for many things, but one of them is being our diet, which is described as processed, fast, sugary, packaged. But I would describe it as a blockbuster movie. It sucks you in with its flashy scenes and grabs your attention, but often lacks depth and leaves you wanting more. According to a study done by the University of Southern California, obesity is the second leading cause of preventable death, just right behind smoking cigarettes. That being said, today I will be informing you about the severity of our diet and obesity problem in the United States, and why. After spending the last couple weeks reading articles, testimonies, and research about the American diet, I have come up with some points that you might find shocking. The main points that I have chosen to focus on include the obesity rates from other countries compared to the obesity rates in America, and the influence of America's culture in what we eat, how we eat, and why. Now, one of the easiest ways to grasp the severity of our situation is looking at the obesity rates in America versus other countries. So starting from the lowest to highest, there's India at 5% obesity, China at 8%, France at 10%, and Brazil is 25%. And finally, the United States at 41%, which is super shocking, I know. These statistics were all found by the Global Obesity Observatory, which also dives a bit deeper into why others have such lower rates. To break it down, the French stay healthy because of their culture of daily physical activity and cigarettes. India has low obesity rates mostly because of genetics, but unfortunately it has a history of malnutrition. Finally, China keeps low obesity rates due to their clean and low sugary diets. Out of the 3 tactics to stay healthy, there are 2 that we can control. That is physical activity and clean, sustainable foods. Now that I have established some tactics to stay healthy, I will explain why it is so difficult that America cannot stick to them. From the statistics we heard earlier, we can clearly see that there needs to be a change in the eating habits of America. The first step to change is to analyze how and why us as a country have fallen into this habit in the first place. As a mixed economy of both capitalism and socialism, the smart business person of America has capitalized on the idea of the consumer. They have thought to themselves, how can I make the most money by doing that absolute bare minimum? And usually the answer involves selling something of poor quality, cheap content, and fast production. So for the food industry, this means McDonald's and Twinkies. The same tactic is, interestingly enough, appealing to the consumer as well, because of its unusually low price and quick service to accommodate the fast-paced life that America chooses to live. So unfortunately, throughout the building of America, this culture has taken place in our everyday lives. I read in a study by a student from Yale that the food industry spends $100 million by January 4th each year just marketing junk food to children. The student continued by comparing the diet epidemic to the tobacco epidemic that happened decades ago, and the government learned from it. But she finishes by saying the unnecessary deaths could be counted in millions. The U.S. government can ill afford to repeat this mistake with the diet, referring to the amount of deaths that tobacco caused. In my eyes, this just goes to show that the government often seems to benefit off of the bad habits of the American people. For example, I had a nutrition professor at the University of Utah who was hesitant to express her feelings towards dairy on the My Plate displayed by the government as a guide for for what Americans should eat daily. She then explained that in 2023, there was $7.6 million spent to keep milk in the American diet, even though it is not beneficial to the adult digestive system. As someone who only took one class on nutrition, I cannot tell you if milk is good or bad for you, or if you should drink it or not. But it should strike up a few questions for your next dinner party. Now to wrap everything up, considering all of these facts, statistics, and realities, my hope for the country would be that we can slowly switch from the mindset of poor quality for a quick buck, for healthy food for the soul that acts as an investment for a healthier and happier America.